In today's video, I'm going to discuss something really basic. I'm going to talk about the basics of self-improvement, the basics of understanding yourself, the basic of self-exploration, and the knowledge, true knowledge that is based on realization and not just intellectually collecting information. Now, there is a huge difference in being an information collector and a seeker of knowledge. A seeker of knowledge is a continuous process where you're constantly learning, realizing things and applying them in your life. Information collector is just like you're collecting information, facts, opinions, all of that. You're breaking them down into smaller pieces, trying to understand. So somebody is saying something else, someone is saying something else. So you're also getting confused as to what is true. So, realizing something or having the knowledge of something, that means you are able to see things the way they are. So, you need to see yourself the way you are. Now, what is one of the biggest block in this? We come with the notion and belief that we know a lot about ourselves. Some people are just like, this is how I am, full stop. That means you have stopped the scope of your improvement. You are the person who is in between the journey of your improvement. So you need to remove that block and you need to drop this belief that you know everything about yourself. You need to question that, is it something more to my personality that I can explore? Is there any new talent that I can think of? Is it something new quality that I can integrate into myself? These are questions, and these things are based on your will to understand something. So that was first thing, that we have to come to acceptance with the fact that we do not know everything about ourselves. Second thing, we need to understand the concept of conditioning. What is conditioning? For that, I would like to tell a small story that when baby elephants are brought to the zoo, they are tied to this iron chain and they try so much to get free from that chain, but they're not able to get free. So they stop trying after some time. Now when they have become these huge elephants with lot of strength, they can easily break that chain. But the fact that they have tried so many times breaking this chain in the childhood is still there in their mind, and because of that, they don't even try with their complete strength. Even if they try, they will try for some time. So now when zoos are evolving, elephants are in a better conditions maybe, but the concept of conditioning can be easily understood by this story, that there were some patterns and you did not have the strength, the intellectual, the emotional, the physical strength to change certain patterns within you. But right now you might be having it. If you don't have it, you can develop it. So breaking your conditioning is a conscious effort. So for that, you need to come to terms with this thing, that what are the patterns that I have unconsciously developed and what can I do to break these kind of patterns. So there are various tools based on are you a thought dominating person, are you an emotion dominant person, or is your physical action more powerful? Depending on these three factors, you can make changes. Now, in continuation with the point, we have three very powerful things with us. The first is the power of our thought, the second is the power of our emotion, and the third is the power of our physical action. Now, all three things are actions in their kind. Thought is a mental action, emotion is energy in motion, right? So, these three things can help us change. Now, for people who are very emotion dominant, that means they can, emotionally feel things too much, or if they visualize something, or if they're having a dream, they can really feel like it is happening at this point of time. So that is how powerful your emotion is. You can use visualizations to visualize what you want to achieve and then take actions accordingly. So if you're a person whose will is very strong, whose physical actions are very strong, you can take physical actions differently so that your thought and emotion start supporting you. If you're a person who's very intellectual or a person whose thought is very powerful, so that times you can use affirmations. You can replace your negative thoughts, reframing them with positive thoughts. Okay, I'm not saying that you have to stop thinking certain kind of thoughts, but you have to be conscious, aware, and see how I can change this thought. Only when you are able to have control over one of the three things can you really change the other two. So if you want to see different kind of results in your life, you have to take actions differently, and you have to start with one of the three things. Or if you are a person whose thought and emotion is really in his control, so you can start with thought and emotion. If you're a person whose physical action is much easier to be controlled, so you can take control of your physical action. So all these three things are interlinked. Start with what works for you, and you have to really make sure that the first question you need to ask yourself is, if I am trying to break this pattern, is it really that I want to break this pattern? And why is that? This kind of questioning will help you a lot. We have identified ourselves so much with these conditions and patterns that it becomes so difficult for us to remove that as a part of ourselves. The day we stop defining ourselves by these patterns, by the thoughts we have, by the emotions we have, and really question ourselves as to who am I, what am I doing, why am I doing, that is the time when answers start arising within you. So finding your own answers is the real essence of self-exploration. So all the best. I will keep coming up with more such videos.